We're back. Hall County Sports is the show. I'm the host. I'm Garry Glenn. Now, in football, our game of the week was Riverside's young team snapping a 6-game skid with a 23-6 win over Athens Christian at their homecoming alumni weekend. Big crowd on hand. Our player of the game was a lineman, Victor Salcido, who also punted and place kicked and was the game's leading scorer with 11 points on 3 field goals and 2 extra points. He hit on field goals of 47, 37, and 38 and just missed it from 32. In fact, I kind of thought it was good. He also had 2 tackles and 2 hurries as a defensive lineman. Honorable mention went to Tyler Pluhar, who had 2 interceptions and a huge hit on defense. My buddy William Harrington called it a decleater. He also had 67 yards of total offense. Riverside also got scoring on a 21-yard pass from freshman quarterback Michael Gallup to Fernando Wiener and a 25-yard scamper by Tarvin Dukes. Gallup going 8 for 16 for 118 yards through the air. Added 39 more on the ground for the Eagles, who have a late bye week coming up this Friday night. And we welcome to the show now Coach Chris Cotter, head football coach and athletic director for the Eagles. And Chris, a good homecoming present for all the alumni that came as well as for you boys.
Absolutely, sir. And first of all, thank you so much for coming out and televising a program that is, in most eyes, struggling. But we had a great night. The kids really never shut down when we were 1-6. I saw it even in practice. We were having very good practices, and it came out on the good end for us on Friday night in front of a very important crowd. Well,
your freshman quarterback was kind of thrown into the mix there, and he's kind of had to grow up, and he has.
Absolutely. Michael has done a phenomenal job. Great athleticism. His decision-making gets better week after week. Bails us out of a lot of bad spots with his feet. We're extremely young on the offensive line, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time to make decisions, and he's getting much better at that, much better.
I want to tell you about our player of the game. Now, we had some debate up there about whether to give it to Pluhar or to give it to Salcido, and I'm an old lineman, so I said, when's the last time we gave, if we gave it to a lineman, our player of the game? But he deserved it. On offense and defense on the line, sometimes you don't get a lot of recognition for your offensive line work, but he did a good job there. He played well on defense, plus he's your punter and your place kicker, and, as I said, the leading scorer in the game.
And we make him bring refreshments at halftime.
I tell you, he does it all, huh?
He really does. And Victor's a great kid who's doing a phenomenal job with his leg. He's our leading scorer this year, which is never a good sign when your field goal kicker's your leading scorer. But he's literally, once we cross the 50, I feel good about putting him out there. He's got a tremendous leg. He's kicked 47 and 40-plus yarders and a couple 50-yarders for us already this season.
Wow. But I thought it was an all-around game for your kids.
No question. The defense has actually played extremely well all season long. Our offense has put them in some tough spots. Sherrod Taylor, our defensive coordinator, does a fantastic job with those young men, and they've really stepped up all season long.
And a lot of your kids like Dukes. They play both ways.
Dukes, how many combination defensive linemen, running backs do you see? Not many. As you all are aware, we lost our running back in week 2, so we've kind of had to change our offensive philosophy throughout the year based upon what personnel was available. And Tarvin kept saying, I can run the ball, and we finally started handing him the ball, and he's done exactly that. He's run with it.
And guess what? Yeah. There you go.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, how are you going to approach the off week or the bye week?
The off week, I'm giving him off today to go ahead and catch back or get a jump start on the second quarter grades. I like all of our student athletes to be exactly that, student athletes. We'll go at it light Tuesday, probably pad them up Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, regular game week next week.
Because you got Athens Academy, and they're pretty good.
They're very good, well coached, good athletes, big, strong, fast. We expect nothing but their best effort next Friday night.
Okay. Chris, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to the Eagles the rest of the way, all right? Stay in touch.
Appreciate you very much.
In other football, Lakeview also snapped out of their slump with a 49-21 win at North Cobb Christian in Kennesaw. Nick Drury, honorable mention for this week's Athlete of the Week, had 5 touchdowns and 213 yards rushing. The Lions pounded out 413 yards on the ground. Jackson Wells had 118 of those yards and 2 more touchdowns for the Lions, who earned their second regular season varsity win for the first time in the same season, as well as scoring a school record for points. Lakeview plays at Georgia Military in Milledgeville this coming Friday. The Bulldogs beat Glasscock County 25-22. Number 8 ranked Gainesville took over the sub-region lead on their side and showed they're still the team to beat with a 49-17 win at Monroe area. Big A.J. Johnson had 3 touchdowns, while Deshaun Watson and Keontra Harrison added 2 apiece. Watson had 234 yards of total offense. Stephen Mason had 106 receiving yards for Gainesville, who will host Walnut Grove in our next game of the week. The Grove beat Johnson in a 42-35 shootout on Friday. Well, Flowery Branch entered the weekend ranked number 6 in the Associated Press poll, and they did nothing to disabuse that. The Branch went to a perfect 7-0 on the year with a 31-7 beatdown of Heritage Conyers. Jeremy Haley had 144 rushing yards and a touchdown. Quarterback Austin Brown went 14 for 24 for 177 yards and a TD, a 22-yarder to Logan Conley. He also had a 1-yard run for 6 points. Will Mundy had a 21-yard field goal and 4 extra points for the Branch, who plays at Loganville next week. Red Devils waxed Winder-Barrow 32-7. Well, some of our other local teams not as fortunate, though, as some of those. North Hall's playoff hopes took a real big hit. Well, they lost to Lumpkin County 34-26. Trojans did get short touchdown runs from Trevor Holbrooks, Mac Van Gordon, and Monty Cross. Candler Coker also hit Jesse Strickland for 15 yards and 6 points. C.J. Curry caught a 2-point conversion, and that cut the Lumpkin lead to just 1 point at that point in the game. And the Trojans will host Franklin County next. The Lions came to Chestatee and whipped the War Eagles 41-14. Scott Tuning threw to Pierce Grunenfelder for 1 score, and Jay Lyles added the other touchdown for the War Eagles, who play at White County next. The Warriors took over first on their side of the subregion as they beat Stevens County in a 21-14 thriller. West Hall was spanked by Oconee County 42-7. Spartans' lone touchdown was a 1-yard pass from Shunquez Stevens to Brandon Fuqua. West Hall will host Monroe area next, while Oconee will play at Johnson next. East Hall got a touchdown receiving from Jamon Witt, but that was about all in a 20-7 loss to Fannin County. However, East Hall defensive end Sterling Bailey got a high honor last week. The Touchdown Club of Atlanta named him as its lineman of the week through 6 games. Bailey had 21 tackles, 8 solo, and 9 for a loss, 4.5 sacks, 6 hurries, and 3 forced fumbles. He's a University of Georgia commitment and has been picked to play in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. Bailey and the Vikings have a tough test at Banks County this coming Friday night. The Leopards waxed Rabun County 40-13 last Friday. From the gridiron, we go to the volleyball court when Hall County Sports continues.